Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brendan with Evoke Bike. We're here to talk about a very important topic and one that comes up very often. This really isn't even a Cat 4 question. This is something that we all deal with no matter where you're at in your journey of cycling, about losing weight, maintaining race weight, how to do it, what are some good ideas, and two questions came in about this. So in trying to keep this with 10 minutes, I'm going to possibly make this into two videos. We'll see how it goes. But if you left with anything right now, I would ask you the question, do you want to just try and quickly lose weight for a season, or do you want to build new habits and change the way you eat, change your diet? A lot of things that if you're looking to have longevity in the sport can be changed just by taking things away for a little while. And the biggest example I always will use for myself is I went vegan one time just to see what it was like, and a friend of mine said, you probably won't stay vegan, but you'll eat differently forever. And it's very true. I ate more beans, more legumes, thought about cooking differently, and it created a lot of new habits and exposed me to new things. So the other question is, do you want to be fast or do you want to be skinny? We're all obsessed with this like skinny culture, and well, I shouldn't say we all are. We all aren't. Some of the best racers are not gaunt, skinny people. That matters watts per kg if you're climbing in Europe and you want to be a super skinny climber. Raw power is super important, especially if you're racing in the US. So I would really recommend thinking about changing your eating habits and thinking about being a strong athlete, not a skinny, weak cyclist. It's okay not to be super skinny. So the question came in, hey, if your main weakness is the number on the scale instead of your PMC, should you consider a weight loss block, and what would that look like? Or try to pair caloric deficient days over a longer period to training? Or if the latter, how would that be structured with the 5 blocks to racing to make sure you're adequately adapting for each subsequent workout or block? So I would definitely say there's different areas, right? If you're just trying to shed 2 to 5 pounds, this is, change your eating habits, clean up the diet, do it slowly. You can slowly lose 2 pounds in a month or 2 months, and you have plenty of time to do that. It's January now, but also you can then still be fueling for the workouts. Now, if you are someone that wants to lose 30 pounds, you're in a different bracket. That's where I started cycling. I was 35 pounds overweight. I put a bike in my basement on a trainer. I didn't know what a trainer was, and I started pedaling and was cutting calories a lot. I wasn't worried about performance. I needed to lose weight. If that is you and you don't race and whatever, you still want to change your habits and do it in a slow manner, but you can more do a workout, eat some lean protein, and cut 1,000 calories. Some people will say 1,500. I think that's a lot. But cut 1,000 calories a day and let your body start eating itself, literally. But you still are eating food. You still need carbs, fats, and protein to maintain basic health. So this is more for people that are trying to stay within race weight. Let's say losing less than 10 pounds. Another thing the second email that came in was talking about fueling these workouts, that we always say, fuel the workout. Even if you have to cut some calories, do it at a time when it's not affecting the workout, and we'll talk about that. So this athlete said, historically, I haven't fueled my workouts well. I got in a bad cycle of doing my morning training fasted and then eating like a bird the rest of the day, and then being starving at dinner and eating the entire house. This happens very often. Don't be good all day to then eat everything right before you go to bed. That's not a good method. It's the kind of thing, when I step back and look at it, it's clearly so bad, but in the moment, when I get off the bike, there's a bit of fear about eating too much, gaining weight, and undoing the weight loss that I just earned on the bike. A few things. To gain a pound, Stacy Sims actually says it's 4,000 calories, but if you go by what we generally know, 3,200 to 3,500 calories, if you eat a cookie, you're not going to gain weight. If you eat too many cookies every day, you're going to gain weight. But it's not the one-time instance that throws you off track. It's the repeated things that you do incorrectly that have you unhealthy. So that's why I say, let's start to change the habits. You might need to look in your closet and say, what is in here that I shouldn't be eating? And either throw it away or go through it and don't buy it again. And if you're not educated enough on what a carb, a fat, a protein is, and like portion size, I definitely was not. I was at a bar eating chicken wings and drinking beer and telling my friend, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. I'm running 45 minutes a day after work. I just had no idea. And so it's not a knock if you don't know. But I started reading magazines. I remember pulling a sheet out of Bicycling magazine and reading like, oh, this is what a carb is. This is what fat is. And it builds. Start somewhere. Like take a step today to learn more. There's no quick fix to this. Like you ate poorly for a long time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Let's look to reshape habits and eat healthy, but you still need to be eating, especially if you want to pedal a bike. The other thing that this athlete said is undoing the weight loss. So you are never losing weight after a ride. You know, the ride is to stress the body. You break the body down and then you recover. Eating is key to recover. You sleep and then you come back stronger. If you're not eating, if you're dieting after a workout, you're not allowing your body to recover from the stimulus. So you're not going to come back stronger. You're not becoming a better cyclist, which is the whole point of you watching a channel like this to become faster. Cut some calories after a long ride, but after you've already recovered and eaten a meal or eaten some, get some good protein in, get some healthy carbs, fruits, veggies, stay away from processed stuff. You don't need to come home and eat a Cliff Bar. You don't need fig bars. You don't need all the other things you might eat on your ride. Leave that as ride food. Come home and eat a meal. I personally would skip shakes. I think that even though they help you get the food in at that recovery window, that window has been called into question by other studies. Eat whole foods. I think you'll stay more full. That's been my own personal anecdotal experience and talking to a couple other people that have kind of had a similar conversation. Just eat a meal instead. And just don't cut right after a ride. Now, remember, a little hunger feeling is okay. You don't have to be satiated all the time. I wouldn't want to feel hungry before I'm going to work out, but if you've done your workout, you've eaten your lunch, and it's 4 p.m. and you're like, I'm a little hungry, that's okay. Just wait till dinner. It's your body, it's evolution telling yourself like, hey, you might want to go start foraging for food. Not like, hey, you need to go drive through that drive-through and get a coffee and a dessert. The big thing, focus on fat loss. Don't look at just the number on the scale or you will drive yourself crazy. Get a scale that has the fat percentage and look for the trend for the fat loss to be going down. The reason why you don't want to just look at body weight is every gram of carb that you consume, which you need to fuel the bike ride, has 3 grams of water to it. So you're going to be seeing fluctuations in water weight. Look at the overall trend and don't just say, oh my God, I'm up 2 pounds. You might just be really hydrated. Like there's a lot of factors that go into that. So someone's going to weigh themselves after they work out, or if they're a little dehydrated and then they've eaten carbs for a workout and gotten on the scale and they think they're fat now. You're not fat, okay? So chase the fat percentage and don't chase just the body weight. You'll see the two work together as you decrease the body weight in a natural way. I wouldn't count calories unless you're using it previously to understand portion size. So not even counting them, but use the tools like MyFitnessPal to understand how many calories are in a food, how calorically dense foods are. But you do want to be counting carbs before a long ride, before your workouts. Understand that, hey, I can consume 60 to 90 grams of carbohydrate to fuel this bike ride. I'm going to go for a 3-hour bike ride. Multiply that by 3. Bring more food than you need. Bonking is not good. Bonking means you've totally stripped out all glycogen. You're now going to have to really eat more carbs to fuel for the next day's workout than if you had just brought enough food on the ride and come home not bonked. And then that's also going to most likely circle back to what we were just talking about. You eat those carbs, you step on the scale the next day, you're like, wait, I rode 3 hours, but now I'm fatter. No, you're not fatter. You have more water retained. So count the carbs. And then my last quick bullet points, we will actually keep this to all one video. Let's see if I can knock this out in a minute to keep it 10 minutes. Just get rid of the BS stuff. Like cut ties for 3 months with the candy, the sugar, the soda, your vices. Like you don't need to pat yourself on the back all the time for being good. be excited about how you're going to lose weight. Nothing tastes as good as fast feels. Nothing tastes as good as getting strong feels. So if you want to just say goodbye to the garbage stuff, that's going to help you fast track this process. We talked about focusing on fat loss, and I would say for your caloric deficit, keep it to 300 to 500 calories. And you might be like, well, I'm not going to lose weight that fast. Great. You don't want to lose it fast. You want to lose it long term and develop new habits. When in doubt, also, a great saying that was told to me is eat like a king at breakfast, eat like a prince at lunch, and a pauper at dinner. A pauper meaning high nutrient, low cal, veggie stir fry, lean chicken. If you have a hard workout the next day, definitely some rice and vegetables. Vegetables. You can't eat too many of them. Big salads. We talked about don't necessarily reduce the carbs, but reduce the overall calories, because, you know, people who cut carbs see this weight loss. It's just that they've lost water. They haven't lost any fat, or shouldn't say they haven't lost more fat than someone that's eating carbs. Carbs are not bad. Carbs do not make you fat, but they do retain some water, which you can also make the argument when it's super hot and in the summertime, you're having more water on board so you don't get dehydrated and so that you don't cramp. Carbs are amazing, and that's a whole other studies about how you feel less sore, you recover faster. Carbs are very good for cycling. Sleep. When you are tired, you are more likely to eat a Twinkie. You are more likely to have less resolve to stick to your plan, but also sleep deprivation inhibits fat loss. So you need to sleep. Don't cut sleep. It is really, really important. If you can make time to watch TV, you can make time to sleep. If you can make time to read a book, make time. Like, think of sleep as something that you have to carve time out for, just as you carve out activities that you want to do after work. We kind of touched on, eat real food. I would stay away from shakes. Your snacks are vegetables, carrots, celery, whatever you like. Avoid the dips. You can make up some things. Put some like hot sauce together with something, like maybe a little bit of hummus, and you don't need to go crazy with the hummus. While that's natural, there's also fat in it, and it's healthy fat, but you're trying to reduce calories, not increase them. And really the last thing that we said was don't go all day being good, thinking you're being good to starve yourself, and then it's been a long day, you're tired, you're like, I've been good, and then you eat everything in the house, you eat all the treats, and it's like, man, why did I just do that? Come home, eat dinner, and have a hard cutoff. 7 p.m., I'm done putting food in my mouth. Like, get it in, and that will make you think about your dinner choices. Like, okay, I have a hard ride tomorrow, or I have a long ride. I need some extra carbs. And then you're like, wait, but I also need some protein because I lifted today. Okay, lean protein, healthy carbs, and you're done. Shut it down. So hopefully this helps you think more about what do you have to get educated on? What are some first action steps that you can take to help get yourself in a healthier state for cycling, because you're not just trying to get skinny, you want to be a strong cyclist. And remember that this is a journey. Like, we're all still learning, optimizing, figuring out better ways to do this, and everyone is individual. So you need to find what works for you, but just don't kid yourself. Don't make up like just, I should eat this Twinkie because I rode and I burned, and like, be real with yourself about it. You'll find a lot of success. Post your tips below, what's worked for you. One that I definitely miss, stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. You don't have to go crazy overboard, but water, tea, coffee. But yeah, that's it. Trying to keep these short. 13 minutes. I missed the 10-minute marker. The only thing we charge is a social share. So if you can share this, if you found this beneficial, please repost it, send it to a friend, like the video, and please subscribe. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate your help. All right, thanks. See you guys.